Hey guys, Kyle here with episode 2 of the Move, Feel, and Perform Better video series. Last time we talked about the foam roller. Today we're going to continue talking about self-myofascial release. Okay? Now we're going to talk about using this softball, or you can use a tennis ball or lacrosse ball, to get some different areas that you might not be able to hit as hard with that foam roller. Okay? So the first thing we're going to talk about is something I call hip, pin, and stretch. So the hip, pin, and stretch, unlike the roller where you roll over the muscle, we're going to put a fixed point into that muscle, and then we're going to move the muscle over top of that fixed point. So I'm going to sit on top, okay, kind of in the 3/4 area on the side of my hip, find a spot that's kind of tight, like right here, and I'm going to extend and flex my leg in order to move that muscle over top of that fixed point. And then do that about 5 times or so, and then I can do the same idea with internal and external rotation of my hip. Okay, that's getting that piriformis muscle. If I want to get glute med, which is a little bit higher, so if my pain spot's a little bit higher, okay, flexion extension still works, but now some AB and adduction, ab and adduction, will get that a little bit better than if I'm a little more on top of it. So the next thing we're going to hit, okay, again another pin and stretch, but we're going to do the shoulder. We're going to get this posterior capsule, okay, so I'm laying on top, so it's right up just behind my shoulder. Okay, again, I can roll around till I find that spot that's a little bit tender. I have my elbow at 90 degrees right beside me, shoulder at 90, and I'm going to internally and externally rotate my arm, okay, not pushing past too hard or having to move my body, just nice, easy range of motion, and I can feel that muscle moving over the softball. So for all you runners out there that get some calf tightness, okay, another great pin and stretch exercise is on the calf. Okay, I get it a lot on the outside of my calf, but again, wherever you find that spot that's a little bit tender, like right there, and now I'm going to point my toes or plantar flex my foot, my ankle I should say, and then dorsiflex or pull my toes up to my shin. Okay, so again, we can do this about 5 to 10 times or more if you need it. Okay, and you can also get multiple points in that calf as well. So a final pin and stretch move is to do the hamstrings. So we can sit on top of something where my feet are dangling, or maybe even just touching the floor. I don't want my knees up. Okay? I want the surface to be relatively hard so I'm not sinking in too much as well. So I'm going to put my ball, whether it's lacrosse, tennis, or softball, okay, find a spot. For me, I find a lot, it's the lateral, about a hand width up from the knee, okay, and I'm sinking down into it. Then I'm going to extend, that's stretching that hamstring out, and flex, that's contracting the hamstring, moving that hamstring over top of that fixed hard surface. Okay? Same thing can be done up near where the hamstring originates from, and that's just below that sit bone. That's another area that's quite often pretty tight. But hey, wherever you find some tightness in that hamstring, 5 to 10 extensions and flexions, okay? You can do it on both sides, or if you just have one issue on one side. Moving away from the pin and stretch mechanism, back to more traditional rolling. The anterior shoulder is an area of the body that's typically pretty sore and tight on people who have rounded shoulders working at a desk all day. Okay? This can help open that up, make it a little bit loose, make your posture a little bit better. We're just going to roll right in front of that shoulder, that biceps tendon, and maybe a little bit in that pec minor, just inside the shoulder as well. Okay, so we can roll over top, get those areas. If you find a spot that might be really tight, okay, you can also rotate your hand on that fixed point and do a pin and stretch with this anterior shoulder as well. So that does it for episode 2 of the Move, Feel, and Perform Better video series. If you have any questions, please hit us up in the comments below. We'll see you next time.